Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and your mid-rank madness. Going to be a game between IceFang and Shivi here on Disco Bloodbath. Bottom right-hand corner is the red Protoss player IceFang, and in the top left-hand corner it's the blue Terran player Shivi. Alright, so this is mid-rank madness. It is my every other week examination of what happens at the platinum and diamond levels of the ladder in StarCraft 2. Let's see how we can help these players improve. Let's see what strategies they use, and hit that like button if you enjoy mid-rank madness. It helps me to know if you appreciate it. Alright, if you want your mid-rank madness game to be cast, just make sure it's a platinum or diamond level game and send it to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with a subject of mid-rank madness. Thank you, Sniper Monkey, for screening them and recommending the very best ones. He chose 4 or 5 from a pack of about 25, so I feel like this is going to be excellent here. Probe scouting. Here is IceFang, just because he can afford to do so. Because, you know, you don't need workers to build units. You don't need workers to sacrifice themselves to build units. So you can afford to probe scout here and still be pretty effective at economy. Ooh, a gas steal. A gas steal here from IceFang. Never mind, he canceled it. Gas stealing is like, hey, I want you to do Marines. I want you to do Reapers, but Cyclones, or, you know, Mass Liberator or Mass Tank, I don't want you to do that. So, Cybernetics Core coming up before the expansion here for Shivi. IceFang is working on his expansion right after the Barracks here. So, Barracks expand, 1 ranks expand here into a Reaper, or maybe skipping the Reaper because Reaper control is hard enough at the highest levels of StarCraft. And pretty much lower level players sometimes say, ugh, it's not worth the effort. It's really not worth the effort. I can't kill anything. Stalkers are out, or Adepts are out by the time the Reaper shows up anyway, so whatever. An expansion here from IceFang. And what's he doing? He's going ahead and tossing down a tech lab on his barracks. Interesting enough. We're actually sending a Zealot across the map. Holy cannoli. Bunker's coming up here. So what are you going to put? What? Like a Marauder? What are you doing with this tech lab, man? Are you making a Reaper now? What is happening with your strategy? Not making any units whatsoever. Okay. Shivi, pro tip of the day, make units. Make something here. All right, he's making a Marine, and he's going to have a bunker, and the Zealot is going to get here, like, right in the nick of time to be shot in the face by this bunker. So it's really unfortunate timing here for our dude. Ooh, he does get an SCV that was already injured, though. And then the Marine, ooh, does hop in the bunker. Ooh, could have taken a hit there from that Zealot, but instead manages to get right back around him. And then into the bunker. Pylon for IceFang. It is a proxy. We're looking at a proxy pylon here from our Protoss player. And yeah, he's just really been left alone at this stage. He's tossing up another gateway. He's got an Adept out. He's got a Stalker out. He's not going to try to push up that ramp with a bunker on top of it. Just really, really hard to do. And I'd love to see a tank, honestly, out of Shivi. Just defensively really good against early gateway harass. Good against Adepts. Good against Zealots. Good against Stalkers. Really makes this fairly impregnable for this, at least this stage of the game, for gateway units. You're just not really getting up there at all. Unless it's one kind of a, like a 1 base 4 or 5 gate style attack out of IceFang, which he's definitely not doing because he's expanding. I don't know that Shivi has any information at all. No. Shivi is just defending his face off. He's got a Marine. He's thrown into that bunker, so he should probably make that happen. Double starport, interestingly enough, and is taking his 3rd gas pretty early, too. Widowmine in production. Just trying to deal with maybe a Stargate, maybe an Oracle play. There is a Stargate on the way from IceFang. That is his higher tech. It's late, though. He went for a Forge first. He went for a bunch of Gateway units first. You really want to get that higher tech out. At least get the building created, whether it's a Twilight Council or a Stargate or a Robo. Get those out fast. Get it up fast. You want to be able to tech fast. And this build is intended to be pretty safe against most stuff, especially if your opponent expands like this, to where you can get it up. Fusion Core on the way from Shivi. Oh, is this a battlecruiser play against IceFang? Oh my gosh, I would be so much in love if that's what we're seeing here. All right, so Tech Lab, Starport, that's your 4th gas. Oh, for sure. Shivi's going battlecruiser here. There's nothing else to do. Not sure why he's throwing out a Starport on this, or a reactor on the Starport, though. That is not actually the best use of your Starport if you're planning on making battlecruisers. You need Tech Labs for those. But that guy's ready to go. That Starport is ready to rock. 4th gas just now coming on in. And I guess maybe, like, you swap the barracks onto the reactor and just pump Marines? I mean, Marine battlecruiser, pretty good. Marines as a mineral dump, and this is an all-purpose DPS style unit. Going to be pretty great here. Oracle is on the way. Oh, another... Wait, that's hallucinated. But a real Oracle is in production here from IceFang. So that Oracle's name is Bloodbath. A zealot who lost all his limbs to a drone attack was barely saved. What remained was implanted into an Oracle whose sole remaining purpose is naturally murdering SCVs. All right, so here we go. Naturally going to try to murder some SCVs here. There's no anti-air, just kidding. There's a Widow Mine that fired on something. Oh, hallucination, I'm guessing. So blew its attack there on a hallucination, which is not all that great. I mean, killing that Widow Mine is not a bad idea, but forcing all the SCVs to flee from this base is also not bad either. But the Widow Mine, if it doesn't die, you're going to swing back around and almost get hit by it. I have a feeling this is going to die to a Widow Mine. You guys ready with me? You ready for this? 2 battle cruisers in production. Yeah, the barracks eventually did come over to the reactor, so that makes sense. Woo! Couple shots there on our guy, a Brattlewrath, which the heck is that name? I don't know what Brattlewrath is. Shivi needs to bring the SCVs back in. He's oversaturating his natural like a crazy person right now. Needs to bring him in. There you go. Resaturating his main. Still oversaturated on his natural. I love his worker count. I mean, at 38 workers here is not too shabby. He's probably take a third base, though, at this stage. It looks like IceFang is trying to set up for one of those two. He is producing Void Rays, which is a great answer to battle cruisers. Not a bad answer at all to battle cruisers, just because that prismatic alignment versus armored really tears through the BCs fast. Yamato can't one-shot them either, the Void Rays. They were given a bit of an HP buff, you know, a patch or two ago. So moving out with a small gateway army here is IceFang. The problem is the battle cruisers just jumped over to this side of the map, and your army moved out. So the battle cruisers are going to go to town on your probes. The shield batter is going to help them to some extent, but not a whole ton. Void Ray shows up, and prismatic alignment, you know it, right? Yes, there it is. And is fast enough to actually chase down this BC who can't run away. 2 BCs, though, versus 1 Void Ray is not going to work out for the Void Ray, as we're seeing. Void Ray needs to get in here and make some use out of that prismatic alignment before it expires. It actually ends up expiring. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Oracle coming over and maybe toss down a Revelation. I don't know. The Void Ray really wants to kill one of these BCs, but is going to die. Oh, fleeing, though. Fleeing for its life. Back to the shield battery. And then getting some shots off. And back to the shield battery and getting some shots off. His prismatic alignment up. It is almost up. So he needs to use that as soon as he can. Shield battery is just about out of energy there. I think... Okay, now, prismatic alignment. Go. I understand it's hard to pay attention when your cooldowns are up. But you need to see that. The Stalkers are harassing. Another Void Ray shows up. This Void Ray does go down. Should have pulled it back there, unfortunately. Having 2 Void Rays is better than having 1. Oh, what a perfect jump out from Shivi. Not too shabby, guys. 7 kills on the 1 battle cruiser. 2 kills on the other battle cruiser. It's going to be more and more BCs, man. Mass BC, the order of the day. So here what you're going to want are a lot of Stalkers. You're going to want Tempest. You're going to want Void Rays. These are the units you're going to want to be making right now. Or, if you're interested in doing some kind of a Warp Prism harass, dropping some Zealots into the main base when this stuff is happening is not a bad idea either. When in doubt, if you're Protoss, honestly, warp charge lots into your opponent's main base. Just whatever. It's really hard for them to deal with and they hate it. So 2 Void Rays, both with this prismatic alignment. Oh my gosh, that battle cruiser needs to get out, but it jumped in here, so it's not getting out, and it's going to die. It does end up going down. The other one. The Void Rays need to get on top of it. Go, 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 go. You can't let it escape. What are you doing? What are you microing otherwise, my guy? I guess maybe your Oracle's moving out here. It's still alive, which is pretty cool, actually, but you guys need to help. Where's... You didn't kill this BC. He's still around. Oh, Yamato's down a Stalker as it's warping in. Brutal insult to injury there. 2 kills on the BC. Pretty well defended here by IceFang. I love that he has a third base, and he's defending it fairly well, too. So far, I'm not too upset with IceFang. He's at 49 workers, which is great. Shivi. Oh, Oracle goes down to missile turrets. Bad news. Bad news bears there. But Shivi is, I mean, oversaturated in both of his bases. There's no sign of going for a third base at all. There you go. Third base now coming up. He's trying to build it. There you go. Had to lower the supply depot. He's going to build it to the north. IceFang is making more Void Rays, which I really enjoy. Additional gateways coming in here too. Shield batteries. He's got another fusion core on the way. Like, did he lose his first one? He did not. Okay, my guy. Maybe it's insurance. It's an insurance policy against losing the first one. He really wants to keep making BCs. Oh, Shivi's double expanding, though. He's double expanding to just outside of his main. He's going to be a 4-basing Terran. IceFang sitting on about 100 minerals, really spending his money effectively on these 3 bases. Mostly on upgrades, not really making a whole ton of units. I like the Oracle production, so we continue keeping tabs on the enemy with Revelation. Seems like a great idea here, but you need to be more aggressive than this. You can't let a base come up unopposed. He's moving out, but I just feel like it would have been better to move out about 30 to 45 seconds earlier, and I know it's hard to know. I know it is hard to have the game sense and the map vision at all times to notice your opponent is double expanding in a fairly unprotected way. I mean, the battlecruisers can't cover both of these effectively. They're just too far apart from each other. But yeah, Stalkers, another Oracle coming in, Stargate on the way. I do like Tempest at this level. At the higher levels, battlecruisers are pretty good at jumping on top of Tempest and Yamatoing them all to death and then finishing them off with their lasers. So I'm not a huge fan of Tempest, but they're better than nothing, man. If you have to make Tempest, I'm a fan. Stalkers, again, trade pretty well, and I don't know about blowing Prismatic Alignment on this command center. It's dead anyway, and I appreciate you want to kill it fast, but now you don't have Prismatic Alignment available for the BCs if you want to engage with those. Does he know? He's got to know about this base. He does. The battlecruiser's actually not really responding to this at all. So now they are. They're like, hey, you can't kill both of my expansions. What is this? And then they jump on. No, get out of there. Void Rays. There's your Yamato. Bam, bam. Wait. Oh, okay. They don't. They don't one-shot, but look how little health. There's 10 HP left on that Void Ray after a Yamato shot. So, I mean, again, doesn't one-shot you, but you still want to get out of there and heal up as best you can if you take one to the face, as happened right there. Good repair from Shivi, though. And just, I mean, what else are you going to do here? Continue to produce battlecruisers? Yes, yes, you certainly are. Army supply 65 to 63. It is pretty close at this stage of the game. I would say that nobody has a major advantage over anybody else. More Void Rays coming on in. There's 2 Void Rays here. The Stalker count alone, I'm pretty happy with. These Stalkers in the back are not attacking, though. Get right under those guys. Get under them. Attack them. Also, I'd love to have some attack upgrades from your Stalkers, but we don't have any right now. There's the Blink. Blinks under, trying to focus one down, does get it, and forces a liftoff. These SCVs coming into repair, but they're dead. He didn't jump that far away. Oh my gosh, chase them down. Where's your Blink? Battlecruisers are not fast. Do you have your Blink available? Yes. He's trying. Oh, another battlecruiser goes down. This is really good. Another one falls. Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. All right, Prismatic Alignment versus battlecruisers versus SCVs. I would recommend target firing one battlecruiser at a time with your Void Rays. Individually targeting them is not going to work out. And one battlecruiser does go down, but there's only one Void Ray remaining. The Stalker count is not high enough to do this. And there are some Marines on the ground here, too, providing additional DPS, especially against the Stalkers, and especially against the Void Ray. Woo! Scattering its pieces through the hologram. Battlecruiser jump across the map. Going to kill some of your probes here at your 4th base that I think IceFang is working on. 2 Void Rays, though, ready to rock. No. There it is. Prismatic Alignment. This is an interesting game. This is a really interesting game. Another battlecruiser is going to die. That's why you don't jump in to attack your opponents. You fly across the map very slowly, very stately, and then if you get in trouble, you can warp home without any delay. If you jump in, there is a good amount of time where you're super vulnerable and slow. If you get chased down and killed, that's on you. Thor's in production. This is crazy. This is really crazy out of Shivi. I haven't seen this strategy. This is why I love MidRank Madness, right? MidRank Madness will do some things that are weird, whereas at the GM level, most games are pretty standard. Most games have a pretty established meta. I think that was an Oracle going down. Fare thee well, Oracle. But in MidRank Madness, you have an established meta. People are trying to mimic the pros to some extent. But every once in a while, I get someone who's willing to do this kind of stuff. I think at a higher frequency than you'll see at the pros at the GM level. Just because, I mean, this doesn't work against Protoss. Well, hang on. I don't know that I've seen it work recently against Protoss. This mass battlecruiser thing, I have seen it win games in the past. I've seen Innovation do it against somebody like SOS at a very high level, very Korean level of StarCraft 2. It can be very good with good control and good use of your tactical jumps and your Yamatos. But players at this level don't really have it. So I don't know. This will be interesting to see who's going to win this. I just don't know. More and more Void Rays here. Again, the Void Rays, good trades. Pretty good trades with these battle cruisers and that prismatic alignment. The problem is the Yamato takes you down to approximately no health. But I like the double expand. IceFang has decided, okay, never mind. That's not an expand. That's just an army. But the expand to the south, I'm a fan of that one, sitting on 5 bases. We're trying to replant his 4th is Shivi. And here come the Stalkers. They're going to shut this thing down right quick. Hold on! You saw that. Guys, you know that's there, yes? They do. But I mean, as long as we're here, let's kill some debris, open up some attack paths, and then take down the command center as it's being built so it can't be canceled. Brutal. Oh, he's saving prismatic alignment. Again, I don't know if this is intentional or not. Kill the command center. Kill the command center. Oh, the repair is too good. He's keeping it alive. Yamato, 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 Yamato. Void Rays really having a hard time right now. Thor's causing some problems versus these Stalkers. The Marines, again, great CPS versus Stalkers. The jump was not too far away. And as a result, IceFang has to get out as the battlecruisers roll back on in. I almost kind of feel like a mass Stalker play. Mass Stalker with Storm would be a good answer to this. The Stalkers, again, do fine against the BCs. The Marines are a bigger problem right now. And if you can storm the Marines and wipe them out, I think you're going to have a better time if you're IceFang. However, he's just making more Stargates, more Void Rays all the time. He's got another base. Again, this base is really important for him to have a 5th and make some good trades here. I mean, resources lost to this stage, 12,000 for IceFang, 9,000 for Shivi. 8 battlecruisers down, but 12 Void Rays and 35 Stalkers is a lot. It is a lot of Stalkers. 61 to 77 workers. Shivi has the worst economy right now, as we could expect based on how we've seen this game go to this point. So army supply, 80 to 100. Shivi has a bigger army supply. Again, this is largely battle cruisers, but handful of Marines. Actually, I'm not even sure if that warrants Storm. I don't know if that warrants getting Storm, but he is making Tempest. He is getting Charge for his Zealots, which again makes them faster, but does not give them an extra attack on their attack. However, this might actually be from the previous patch. So never mind. I think they still have their bonus attack, and they're not as fast. Another great engagement here. The battle cruisers are not using their Yamato, blinking underneath this army. IceFang feels like he has it right now. But again, the target firing maybe not as good as it otherwise could be. The Yamatos do come down if late, and that's enough for Shivi to actually force the Protoss army back. He blinked in like he owned the place, but he didn't. He did not own the place at all. Tempest with that bonus damage versus massive flying units. Battle cruiser down. Yamato on the Tempest, but the shield batter healing it up pretty effectively. Again, the Marines are a problem. If you're focusing down the battle cruisers, Marine DPS is not bad, even if they don't really have upgrades. They've got +1 attack. That's it. They don't have stim. They don't have combat shield. They are not tiny little gods, but they are still, again, good sources of DPS, and if you're trying to kill them, that means everything else is hitting harder. I like that he brought a tank along. Shivi's composition is weird, but I enjoy it. Another battle cruiser down, and then finishing off the Thor while you're at it for good measure. This battle cruiser comes in, decides Yamato down a Tempest. Another Tempest takes a hit, but this Tempest count is actually pretty scary right now, especially against 1 BC. And by 1 BC, I mean 2 BCs. One of them is severely injured, though. So IceFang is actually down in army supply, but I like his composition. He's got the charge lots. He's got the Tempest. He's got the Stalkers. He can handle the ground army well enough with the charge lots. He will tear through these Marines, especially because they have so few upgrades. Kind of like it. Kind of like it better than Storm. I don't know. The Marine count might be enough to warrant Storm at this point, but charge lots should be able to handle them, again, especially without medevacs and especially without any upgrades other than the +1. I think IceFang should expand at some point here, though. He did a good job getting to 5 bases, but a 6th base would really help him. One over here, something where Shivi is not likely to scout it, have a hard time killing it. Not that he's really done any scouting at all. I mean, he's just pretty much been defending and then attacking in this one spot over and over again. IceFang is going back into Void Rays, which I'm not entirely sure I agree with here. He's got +1 attack for his Zealots. He's working on +2 armor for them. And the Stalkers also benefit from that upgrade, obviously. Continuing to warp in units. That's a slow warp in on this pylon that is not touching a nexus or a gateway, so that's a little bit annoying, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. Don't send Zealots in after planetary fortresses. Don't do it. Send them into bases that aren't planetaries. Engagement coming in. Another battle cruiser down. The Zealots doing pretty well for themselves here, jumping on top of those Marines, but they're pretty much gone at this stage. Tank fire is a problem. Never mind, we took it out. That was a decisive victory for IceFang. 85 to 53 workers, 70 to 65 army supply. Shivi's expanding up north. IceFang needs to attack and expand. I know, it's hard to remember when you're attacking to expand. You feel like you have to micro or you're going to lose everything. That's how I feel when I attack. But you need to be expanding behind it. It doesn't take much APM to send a probe down. Say we're doing a nexus. If you're going to attack into a planetary fortress, you have to have immortals, IceFang. It's really hard to do it just with gateway units. Even if you have charge lots, even if you have a couple Void Rays, it really comes down to your immortal count if you're going to take down a planetary fortress. If you have 2 immortals, even 1 immortal sometimes is enough. You just need that big chunk damage that immortals do versus armored targets, and you'll take it down fairly quickly. Wow, this is good. This is a really fun game. Thank you for sending it in, which, you know, whoever it was, whichever player it was. I'm appreciating it. Anything that has BCs is fun to cast, and then watching a Protoss try to deal with it is also quite interesting. IceFang is expanding now, about a minute or so after maybe I wanted him to, maybe 5 minutes after I initially wanted him to, but he's getting there, and that's important. I mean, once you get past the 15-minute mark of a game, it is your late macro now. It is late game. Expand a bunch. You probably have the resources for at least 2 more bases, and yes, IceFang in fact does. So just expand twice more, probe up to around 80 probes or so, get that gas income, and you'll be shocked about how many units you can produce at a time. I'd love to see additional warp gates here. The warp gate count is nice. It's 11, but you're on 5 bases now, man. Get that up to 20. I mean, keep going with the warp gates. Be able to warp in just another replacement army if your first one dies. Be like the Zerg. Zerg it is what you can do. Shivi, on the other hand, expanding slowly, playing defensively. Again, you don't have any immortals versus this planetary. I guess if all the Void Rays focus it down, I guess there are a ton of Void Rays, that will work out. Yeah, so the planetary is dead. You're not repairing through that. Thank you very much. Base down, income out. But now, see, you've used your prismatic alignment. I don't know about blinking forward right there. That's a lot of Marines. Those are Thors. Those are tanks. Okay, a tank. And now the Void Rays are attacking without prismatic alignment. The Marines are chewing through the Void Rays, and now there's only a handful of Tempest. IceFang, no. You can't be attacking into that, but Shivi has enough army to defend. And Yamato's down the final Tempest. It is 81 to 33 army supply. IceFang took down that base, should have just backed it out. Take down the base, back it out. This army is slow. They're not going to chase you down. Make them attack you when you have cannons to fall back to and shield batteries to fall back to and ability to warp in additional units to defend as necessary. But as it stands, Shivi's way up in army supply. IceFang is probably going to lose this base unless something quick happens. Something quick happens for IceFang, and he gets an army. And he's making 3 Tempests at a time, and he's making Void Rays, but the problem is the Marine count's getting fairly high, and Shivi pulled the boys. Shivi's like, I'm not replacing that base. Let's bring the boys and see what we can get. Repair these Thors out in the field. Zealot's trying to do stuff, but they can't even get in there to attack. They're completely down, and this looks like it's a GG for IceFang. The Marines, again, even without fantastic upgrades, are still really good anti-air. They're going to take down these Void Rays, the battle cruisers, if they don't finish them off here first. Yeah, Void Ray down, Void Ray down. Tempest taking some shots, Void Ray down, Tempest out. A slow warping of Zealots. Trying to get on top of these Marines and wipe them out here, and doing fairly well for themselves. Again, the upgrades help a lot. But the battle cruisers, if they're helping, yeah, that's going to be it for those Zealots. Void Ray, bad rally. Oh, it's a really bad rally there for IceFang. Just loses it entirely. He's making more Void Rays, but I think he feels a little bit lost at this stage. A little bit lost, not quite sure what he should do. And he's got 18 army supply. So there's your GG. Like, I mean, nobody has said GG yet, but Shivi's not replacing his third at all. He's not even expanding again. He's just like, oh, I've got what I've got. We're going to make Marines. We're going to tactical jump about 4 feet. He likes the 4-foot tactical jump. I guess maybe it's hard getting through a wall versus these units. Fine. I'm getting it. I love these SCVs. I mean, this is as all as you're going to get from Shivi. He brought so many of the boys along to repair his Thors, to repair his battle cruisers. This is a 15-kill Thor. Not bad. Actually, 19-kill battle cruiser in the mix. Void Ray's not the answer here versus the Thors, versus the battle cruisers, versus the Marines. IceFang is trying to just defend as much as he can versus these stalkers. He's spending his money. He's only got 300 minerals, so it's not like he's floating cash here. Prismatic alignment on the battle cruiser. Repair gets in. Oh, the Void Ray switched targets. 11-kill battle cruiser with so little HP. 53 HP. Thor's up to 18 kills. 19 kills. Thor is here. And again, we're done. But IceFang is fighting valiantly right now. Of course, I don't know. Shivi doesn't have any gas at all. He's repairing through his gas bank. So, maybe IceFang? Ah, he taps out. Shivi is your winner in 24 minutes and 49 seconds. And IceFang is done. Oh, that's so... Boy, that's frustrating. That's a little frustrating here for IceFang, I think. Look at the income. Look what he's got right now. He's got 70 workers. He has 25 minerals per minute and 500 gas per minute. He hasn't saturated these gases, but imagine if he'd been able to warp in like 10 stalkers at a time and say 10 or 15 zealots at a time and just went for this. Would have been good. Also, having Storm would have been nice to be able to storm the SCVs that were protecting this Thor and prevent him from getting 26 kills. Would... Oh, that would have been good. That would have been good for you, IceFang. My goodness. Oh, goodness. What an incredible game. That was a ton. An absolute ton of fun. Man. That was a good game. I like it a lot. I like MidRank Madness. I like it so very, very much. All right. So what are the lessons for IceFang here? Once again, more warp gates. Get Storm. Get Storm no matter what you're up against. Storm is very, very good. It is excellent. Not as good as in Brood War, but still very, very good. Let's see what the upgrades were here at the 24-minute mark. +2 armor, only +1 attack. Work on your upgrades. I know you were working on your air upgrades, but once you saw how many Marines were being brought in, go ahead and apply that to your Zealots. It is so hard to kill Zealots with just Marines. You pretty much have to kite nonstop, especially if they have +3 attack and +3 armor. So like just gateway units with Storm support, I feel like would have won this game. So take it for what it's worth. All right, so that is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and your mid-rank madness. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
Before us, our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. Justice, our duty is unending. I feel your presence. We are as one. Sense of soul, the soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Inshallah, adieu. Ascension is before us. Our honor guides us. soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you.